Thanks, sir.
Ben, why do they call you? What does your brother call you? Yeah, when you're talking about tools or something, Parry, you were saying what was the story?
Yes. Well, Ben
Yeah,
was
so
telling a great story, but I'll let Ben tell it.
Yeah, so my brother is cabinet maker by trade, and so obviously along with that comes the ownership of some pretty good tools. But very quickly, he decided that I was no longer allowed to use his tools, and he went out and bought me a very nice set from King Chrome with a lifetime warranty because he likes to refer to me as sexy fingers, and that basically means that everything I touch gets fucked. So after I snapped the attachment point off of his adjustable wrench and bent one of his Allen keys around. He decided that I was no longer allowed to use his tools anymore.
And Sexy Fingers stuck.
Yeah, and so that's how I became Sexy Fingers.
Okay. All right. So that's a fun start. I don't know where we were going to start originally, but it probably wasn't with Sexy Fingers. So let's go round. So we've got Ben and Parry just back from Egypt. Paul Tesorero has joined us because he's the godfather of parabenching this country, and he can join whatever podcast he wants whenever he wants and have some input into what's going on with the Australian team and what's going on with benching. So Ben and Parry, welcome back.
Well, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Nice to be back. But let's not forget.
Yeah, it is. It is good to be back, actually.
Let's not forget the Dubai men's World Championship team is all on your camera right now.
Oh,
that's right.
He is right.
Yeah, that was the last time you came away with us, wasn't it, Paulie?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was that. That was the. No, hang on. Dubai, and then there was Thailand. I did Thailand. Thailand was where I did the Oceania record.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
Yeah. And
when you guys went to Thailand, my hand was in the sling.
But yeah. So you guys did well. It was it looked like a very busy. Just saying to Nathan before he jumped on, Benny, it looked like a very busy event and a very lots of coordination with so many people.
Well, yeah. So we ended up with, I think it was 537 athletes, I think was the end count. So I think it's the biggest worlds I've been a part of. I think the biggest before this was like 451. So bunch of athletes, and then obviously, as you know, the little manlets, the 80s to 88s are usually the most contested classes. So Parry and I had, what was it, like 39 original contestants. We had one DQ and one DNS. But it was very, very busy event.
And what was tell us first what was Egypt like?
And,
just like getting out and about, like I saw all the pictures of the Sphinx and the pyramids and all of that cool touristy stuff. So talk to us about that. What was that?
It was chaos, honestly. Like that is the best way I can explain it. It is like nothing I have ever experienced before. Just pure chaos. So like you're on the roads. I think I saw maybe one set of traffic lights the whole time we were there. And I think the speed limit is 120, but it seems to be a very loose suggestion.
It's a guideline.
and so yeah, and like so you have people literally like walking across the street from one side of the street to the other, but it's the freeway, and everyone around in cars or car adjacent vehicles is doing 120 plus. Like it was insane to me, especially being a little country boy from Perth. Like obviously we're very different to the rest of the country, where there's a reason why WA is called Wait a While. But yeah, it was just absolutely insane. So I'm sure Parry will have a different interpretation. Being from Sydney, I'm sure he's more used to the chaos. But yeah, I was very outside of my element while I was there. Especially you're traveling from the airport to the hotel. And the only time the taxi driver or the bus driver takes his eyes off of his phone to look up at the road is because Google Maps has just told him he's going to need to turn up ahead. So he's looking to see which way he needs to turn. Like I preferred not to be looking at what the driver was doing.
Look, chaos is the right word. Like, yeah, and I'm the poor sucker that was always in the front of whatever vehicle or taxi or Uber that we were taking. And my right leg had never hurt so much from pressing the brake. Like, but in saying that, like, the roads, they were generally, or the large roads, they had like 6 or 7 lanes, but there were always 9 or 10 or 11 cars across them lanes. So even the lane marking on the road was just, I don't know, a decoration, nothing that you really had to take seriously. Right. But in saying all that, like they did have some sort of system to the chaotic way they drove. But I could never figure out what it was. Like these guys used to have, toots. They'd press the horn once, twice, 3 times to say something. Indicators, well, that's just a decoration for the car. You don't use that, right? But you flash the lights and you toot your horn, right? And then somehow everyone knows what you're doing.
Crashes then.
Like there's.
Well, see, I some.
There's no crashes. There's rubbing and nudging.
Racing, so that's fine.
Well,
yeah, there was not a car that I saw on the road that didn't have a ding or scratches or like a missing panel or a broken tail light. Like so, obviously everyone is used to getting up close and personal.
Very.
But it was very different.
Review mirrors are overrated.
Yeah. Well, as I said, like it was a rare experience that I saw one of the drivers actually watching the road while they were doing it. So I don't know. Maybe everyone's got Teslas in Egypt. They just like to put Suzuki badges on their Teslas. I'm not sure, but it was a little concerning.
I was with you in the car when we almost squashed that motorcycle rider, wasn't I, Ben?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Like a motorbike is trying to cut between cars to go from the left side of the road to the right side of the road. And now when I say from the left side, this was a 6-lane highway, and he was all the way in the left side, and he decided he needed to exit all the way at the right side and goes between cars, and everyone hits the brakes, and we sort of kind of squish him just a fraction onto the car in front of us.
Man.
Yeah, it was anxiety
inducing. Motor vehicles on their roads either, is there?
No.
Well, that's what was doing my head in. So the most surprising thing that I saw was tuk-tuks. They had tuk-tuks, and so I thought tuk-tuks were like uniquely Southeast Asian. But no, they've also got them in Egypt. But then also on those 6-lane freeways that everyone is going 150 k's an hour, you will all of a sudden see a horse and carriage on that same road, and I just don't understand. I don't understand how it all works together, but it seems to. And yeah, going back to Harry's comments about the system, the closest I could get to working out the system is that the loudest horn that is beeped the most times is the winner, and everybody just has to move around them.
Ben didn't come to the first trip to the pyramid, so he missed out on seeing not only a horse and carriage, but there were also horses and camels on the same road that the cars, motorcycles, and the tuk-tuks were on.
So is there any
It
markings?
just
Is there any markings whatsoever on the
Yeah, there is, but
on the road?
that's just for decoration. You don't use the markings for anything.
it's someone spilled some paint while they were driving to work one day.
And they ran with
It
it.
happened to look like road markings, but everybody that's local obviously knows that someone just obviously spilled some paint, and so we just ignore them. As long as you stay on the dark grey asphalty area, like, you're good.
So this one thing comes to my mind, and maybe I'm misreading this situation, but I say this because I've been in travel buses for trips before. Sometimes when you jump on a travel bus or you go into a comp and you all jump on and you've got, a bunch of wheelies and people on sticks jumping in the vehicle, and then they know they're going to drive 100 miles an hour. There's an element of apprehension. Was there any apprehension?
Oh yeah, mate. So
just a touch.
what was it? Opening ceremony night, I believe it was, Parry, when I was in the little van.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
That was
we had the opening ceremony, and at the end, like, you know how it is, Paulie, you just want to get home, back to the hotel, fill your stomach, like, go to bed. And the bus, the bus that was there, that was supposed to be the one taking us back to the hotel, that got filled up really quickly. And then someone said to me, "Oh, like, come this way." And so foolishly, I followed them. And they had, like, one of those, like, Volkswagen caddy vans or something similar. And so, like, it was raised a lot higher than a regular bus would be, regular passenger bus. And the official mode of getting wheelchair users onto this piece of transport was two really thin rails, and because of the length of those rails and the height of the van, I think it probably would have been about a 30-degree incline, if not more. And so, as you know, Paulie, like, you've been around wheelchairs a lot. The small casters at the front don't align with your big wheels at the back, and so you need at least that distance or that width in rail if you are to successfully use it as a ramp. There was zero error margin in these ramps. Like, the tolerances on these rails was so tight that I feared for my life getting on the bus. But then when we were back, I just wasn't taking any chances. So I just told the people that thought they were helping to just make sure the rails are secure. I am just going to wheelie down this thing by myself, because that is a much safer option than how they were getting other wheelchair users off the bus, which was backwards on both sets of wheels. Yeah, it was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying.
It was a sight to see. And mind you, I was on the bus in front, right? And we left a good 10 minutes before them, right? And our bus was going at a normal pace that was quite comfortable for us. and they got to the hotel 5 minutes before we did. So not only getting on and off the bus would have been, a near life death experience. Whoever drove that bus must have been flying.
Oh yeah, they definitely were making sure they were making up for lost time.
Yeah, they sure were. But I went out with Daniel and Justin. We went to a restaurant in New Cairo, and we were lucky enough to discover people that they weren't taxi drivers or Uber drivers. They were just regular people that decided that we're going to act as a taxi driver. And we got this one guy, Mahmoud, right? And Mahmoud knew his the way around everything, and he was real good, but he did have a bit of a lead foot. And on that night, when we were coming back, and Jess was there with us, a physio. When we were coming back, we weren't that far away from the hotel. It was only a 55-minute drive, right? And we were having a chat, and the guy must have realised that we're a bit late, so he made it a point to try and get from where we were to our hotel in 25 minutes at 210 kilometres at 200 at 210
What sort of car
kilometres an
was that?
hour.
At least at that time of night, the roads would have been fairly empty though.
Yeah, and what I figured, if you had a look at the roads, right, they're curbs, they were painted in black and white, and I think all the Egyptians have made errors that they believe they're on a racetrack. So,
Oh, that's funny. I remember. I mean, it wasn't as unsafe as what you're saying, but I got an Uber from. I missed the bus in where was it? Thailand. And I'm like, it was about an hour and a half. Remember, from the airport to. So I just decided to get an Uber that day on my own. It was like, oh, it's gonna be $50, and it was like 150 k's for an hour basically. And so I remember getting into the hotel, and Simon's like, "Oh, we just got a message you didn't get the bus." I'm like, "Yeah, I couldn't find it." He's like, "How'd you get here?" I'm like, "Uber." I'm like, "Is that safe?" And I said, "Probably not." Oh, never. I think it was. I can't remember if you woke up, Ben, because I got in really late that day.
Yeah,
Yeah. Do you remember?
yeah. I do remember. Yeah, but that was back in you're in the era of the wild west of powerlifting
No,
in
I'm talking
Australia,
about.
Paulie.
Yeah,
Oh
that's true.
yeah, but you come from the times where you guys would you guys would jump on go-karts in the
Yeah.
middle of a competition with the attitude of like, what's the worst that can happen? We end up in wheelchairs for the rest of our lives,
That's
and
true.
just go full send. So we have a little bit more adult supervision
Paulie,
these days.
well, we had adult
Paulie, tell
supervision.
us
Yeah, it
about the
doesn't mean
go-karts,
any of
mate.
us were the
What are they
adults.
talking about?
Oh well, I actually remember not being on them as much, but I remember being there. Just, I think it was Lee Skinner and it might have been Willie. It was about 2010, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, just going to the go kart tracks on day off. I don't know if it was in between comp or after comp, and I actually found talking about that. I was cleaning out the house the other day, and I need to open it up. I found a DVD that Lee Skinner made from 2010 about one of those Malaysian trips, and it was mainly just the lifting and the touristy stuff. And I'm pretty sure that the go karting is on there somewhere, or something similar. So it was just I don't know, it was just a different time. I mean, we did lock down and not do things and stay recovered, but when we did trips, we just did stuff. And I think we also, I don't know, this might be wrong, but we had probably less, other than coaches, but in terms of athletes, I reckon we had less wheelchair users then. We had a lot of
Yeah, probably had a lot more amps.
amps and stuff. So they'd all run around. I was the slow one. So like, Cam and Willie and all those, they were the ones that could get around like pretty quick. So I reckon we did not heaps more stuff, but we just got a little bit more adventurous, I think. But It wasn't until after the comp most of the time.
Because I think it was basically ABBA back in those days, wasn't it? Was the chair user?
Yeah, pretty much. I can't really think of anybody else. I mean, there was a guy I remember called Nathan Pentecost that was around for a while. There was ABBA. There was, and everyone else was.
Dion was.
Everyone else was an amp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a different, it was a different time. But it's funny how it all. It's sort of a bit of a blur. But we also had. I'm just trying to think of some of the other things we did. One of the things I remember from those days. I don't know why it sticks in my mind so much, but ABBA's Australianisation ceremony before one of the comps. It's something I'll never forget. It's just he became an Australian citizen and then competed in the comp. And you know how you have to sing the Australian anthem? He sort of struggled with that a little bit. So he went down the he called it Aussie Matilda. That was his version of the Australian anthem. Aussie Matilda, Aussie Matilda. I don't know why, but I'll just never forget it. It was just in this room I think it was one of my first international comps, because it was 2007. And I don't know why, but it's just one of those memories that I don't know, I'll never forget. We did some.
Thanks for dropping that number, Paulie. It makes me feel less old.
That was my first international.
I appreciate it.
As well. It was Commonwealth of New Zealand.
Yeah, 07. I was still an idiot that thought he was going to be a basketballer in 07.
Hobbits don't play basketball.
Yeah, who at 5'2"? Yeah, exactly. Who at 5'2" honestly thinks, you know what, I'm going to be an international wheelchair basketball athlete? Like, it's insane.
So
it is absolutely insane.
International, Ben?
It was 2012. I believe it was either Dubai or it was like a Singapore. I can't quite remember. But yeah, it was 2012. I managed to get some numbers that were good enough to hit the MQS and have Paralympics Australia take me along. But it was yeah. I didn't do that well, but it was really good experience. Really. No, I went through a terrible period of my life where I did about a decade's worth of Movember, and so I would take it off every end of October. Thankfully, I do not partake in that foolishness anymore. I just throw money at the problem instead of getting involved.
I've seen you clean shaven. Like, you're a sight to see.
Yeah, mate, it's definitely a sight to see. I'm not sure it's a good one. Like Harry, this is doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Down there, and I'll point out there's a Legends wall up there, and I'll point out the picture of Ben, and I have to point out which one's Ben and which one isn't Ben, because sometimes I think Ben's squatting, and then I get confused and go, "Oh no, that's wrong way around," and it'll all make sense once you see it.
Well, I plan to come over on the 10th. I'll actually book the flight tomorrow to make sure it's all good. But I ran it past work today, and they only half balked at it, so I'll just do it.
Half balked. Hey, Paulie, what are you doing on the 10th, mate? 10th of November.
What's 10th of November?
We're doing an impromptu November, camp in Perth.
Oh, yeah? That sounds fun. What if I'm still...
What's that? There's that great country song, man. That, I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. So, man, you got at least one good lift left in you. We'll dig it out of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's it, and we'll get you there as the technical specialist.
Yeah.
I heard
or you can say
the
You can say what my wife keeps telling me, Paul. Like, she used to tell me, look, you used to once look like a Greek god. Now you only look like a goddamn Greek.
Yeah. No, it's was it good, Ben? It would have been good, like not that you would have been coaching, but with so many new lifters, there would have been a lot of opportunities to pass on little tricks and tips and stuff like that over the comp.
Yeah, there was a few, but I kind of like to not push myself into situations where I'm not required. So if we had some of the newbies coming up and asking questions, yeah, I was very happy to give some tips and tricks. But what I enjoyed the most, just being a part of such a big team, and for a lot of them, this was the second time I was meeting them in person, and so it was just like getting to know them as people more than anything else. But yeah, got to pass on a little bit of wisdom. And what was actually really cool, if you've ever spent a little bit of time around me doing singles, you'll know I've got this little sort of breathing technique that I do before I unrack. And so I noticed one of the newbies had taken that on and made that part of their process, and so
Who was that?
that was a little bit fucking adorable when I noticed that.
Who was
That was Jade.
Jake.
That was
Well,
Jade Pritchard.
pretty
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
Then, if you're going to copy, like people copy people better than you, and you at least get up to that level, right? It's not the worst. It's not the worst. It's not
See,
the worst thing.
that's
to
what
do.
I do wrong. I find the people. I find people that are better
That's
than me, and then I go and part with advice.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I got some really good advice from Parry while we're over there. You know how I've been having a bunch of trouble with the whole breathing thing and kind of getting back to my calm after revving up. Yeah, Parry provided some really good visualization stuff when it comes to like breathing into the belly as opposed to the chest, and so that was really helpful. And so since then, you actually get to see the color return to my face in between sets,
That's a good thing.
Very fast.
which is always nice.
And it was just, a simple thing, like, just to feel it. Put your hand on your stomach and feel the breath. And then once you got that mind muscle connection, you don't have to put your hand on your belly anymore. So as soon as I said it,
Yeah.
right, you should have seen the smile on Ben's face as soon as you got it, and it's like, wow, this is what I've been doing wrong. I'm not using my hand.
It's always when you discover the little key to unlocking something. It's always amazing that something so small is the thing that you needed. But until you know, you don't know, and until you actually feel it in you haven't felt it. So everybody,
Yeah.
actually, I'm going to do a digression here because that whole breathing into the belly, breathing into the chest stuff, it drives me insane because I think people genuinely think you can breathe to two different places, and you cannot. You cannot ever. It always goes to your chest. The air that you go or in through your mouth, it can only go to your lungs, and that's bordered by the rib cage, and it only ever goes to your chest. When people are talking about breathing into your stomach, the air doesn't actually go there. They're talking about expanding the musculature, making sure the diaphragm descends, which means that all of the transverse abdomen, rectus abdominis, they have to expand outwards. The pelvic floor tightens to accommodate as well. And so it's like, the lid on the jar presses down, which pushes stomach contents out, which makes it look like your stomach's got bigger. It hasn't. It's just the contents of your viscera having to move to accommodate the expanding rib cage. So when people say, no, breathe into your chest, yeah, it's just all wacky. You can't. It's not possible. Like it's always, the air always goes to your chest. You're always using your abdominal muscles to breathe. Always. Unless you're breathing incorrectly or paradoxically.
Yeah.
And so,
So
that's just that's that one. Yeah, that's just
what
one of
you're
those ones
actually
that comes
doing
up on
is
Instagram all the time. So hopefully I will clip something out of that, and I go, Instagram people, just stop saying silly things. This is what it is. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, and so for me, like it was that haptic feedback, and so having the hand on my stomach, and then feeling my belly actually push out, then that kind of made the mind muscle connection of like when I'm breathing in, if I purposely try and push my stomach out, that was giving me the result that I was looking for. Whereas, as you know, we'd been talking about this for what, 3.5 weeks, and I still wasn't getting it. And so, yeah, it was good to finally have that little
they're good
light
when
bulb
they come
moment.
through, don't they?
Yeah, and
They are
realistically
indeed.
for me, when you're breathing, and you can feel it in your stomach, it just means that your breath it's suffice. You don't need to try and breathe any deeper
See,
than that.
that's where I disagree. You can, and you can go way, way deeper
so-
and generate even more tension, and get it into an even better position for both.
You can, but this is excuse me, for recovery when we're getting off the bench. You know, instead of someone that can't really take a huge breath in, trying to, all that's happening really is we're hyperventilating. So just take a normal breath in until your stomach moves, and then breathe out.
I'll show you a
Right,
bunch
and
of tricks when you're over
and
here,
to
Parry.
concentrate on your.
We'll fine slice that one for you. There's lots and lots of variations on that one.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll fine slice it.
One thing I had a kind of realization when it clicked was that like if you learn how to do the belly breathing thing properly, especially if for a bench press, you could probably learn how to do a bench press without needing to have a weightlifting belt on. Like if you're able to create that tension all by yourself, you probably don't need that haptic feedback of the belt pressing against you to be able to achieve that.
Yeah, I've never worn a belt for a raw bench ever. I've never understood it.
Raw bench. Yeah, neither.
I always wore a belt to hold my shirt in place in single plane
Look,
lifting. That's the only reason why I'd be wearing it.
Well, so when I've spoken to like especially paras, like spinal cord injuries, but the thing that I've heard from them is it is that haptic feedback. It's that thing to kind of push against, because especially if they don't have full sensation or they've got patchy sensation in that trunk area, they find it helpful for that. Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly right, and I like the belt. I like wearing the belt because when you pick up the bar, my first thought is when you're unracking is take a huge deep breath in, right, and try and break the belt off. Really engage, all your abs, your ribs, whatever you can engage, and break the belt rather than breathe into it.
To beat that out of you when you're here. You're gonna be on the plane. You're gonna be on the plane back to Sydney. Going, oh my goodness, I've never felt my abs so well before. It's all unlocked. The secrets of the universe have been unveiled to me. I now see it. I see it.
I'm not bringing my
So
belt.
I'm getting pictures of that scene from Rocky where he's beating the shit out of that frozen cow in the freezer. Is that the sort of thing we're talking about?
I think the last 10 years of my life is like the entire Rocky franchise. Like it's just followed the same pattern. And it's that I love that speech in was it number 5, I think, about it's life's about getting knocked down and getting back up again. It's not about how hard you hit, but that's the one.
Life ain't all sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, it's just more and more creative ways to get knocked down, right?
That's it.
Look,
That is it.
we're talking about Rocky, like, a former boxer. Like, Rocky's not just a show about, a boxing movie. It's a life coaching series.
Except for number 3. Except for number 3. That's got no. Let's just skip it.
Except for number.
Isn't that what being an athlete? Isn't that what being an
Yeah.
athlete is though? It's pretty much life coaching because it's like
Yeah,
teaching you how. It's teaching you how to get through certain things, regardless of the result. And when you do the comps and they don't go well, it's almost like, oh well, what life lesson did I learn from this? Every single time,
I
it's
shouldn't
sort of like,
compete.
That basketball sucks. And
but no, it's,
Well, see, that's where I think powerlifters get it wrong because, like, usually, like normal people, they have a major injury and then they recover and they come back and like, you know what? I probably shouldn't do that one thing that I did ever again. Whereas, like, as a powerlifter, you break yourself under a barbell, you go through your recovery, and then you kind of like, not only am I going to do that exact same thing again, but next time it's going to be under heavier weight. Like that's where I think like
Somewhat.
we're just a little bit tapped.
yeah.
I want to know a little bit about the food experience in Cairo while you're there as well, like both at the venue and then in Cairo. Because for me, that's always the highlight of traveling. Like I remember going around the Czech Republic, never quite knowing what I was eating, but it was always a version of pig, duck, gravy, and these really awesome dumplings. You
I wish.
I'll let Parry go first. He is the food connoisseur.
Okay, what are we going to start with? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Well, lunch and dinner were the same thing, really. So
Oh,
it
yeah.
was either breakfast or other.
All right. So breakfast, they had a huge array of bread, some, desserts like, I don't know, I didn't touch them, but they were cakes. Then they had a cheese selection with some cold meats. And
Oh,
then you
hang
could
on,
get.
just on the cold meats. So yeah, there was like a deli meat and cheese section. There was this strange, like it was a grayish white sort of meat. It's not something I'd ever seen in a deli section before,
Did you
and so
taste it?
I was yeah, of course you know my rule. I'll try anything twice, once and never again. And so I tried it, and it tasted all right. It tasted similar to like a chicken loaf sort of deal, and it wasn't until about a week in that I heard someone else ask someone in the restaurant what it was, and they turned around and said pigeon. And I just immediately thought, oh, like you're fucking with the foreigners. Like surely it's not pigeon. But then when we went out on one of our outside trips and we were at a restaurant, there was pigeon burger on the menu, and so now I am fairly confident that what I ate was in fact pigeon.
So it was good.
Definitely, it was pigeon.
Pigeon's good, mate.
No, pigeon. It was
Pigeon's
pigeon.
tasty.
Well, no. Well, it might be. It might be,
Don't you
but
get
it wasn't
pigeon
good there.
in fine French restaurants?
That's why I don't
Yeah,
eat French
probably.
food. They also eat
Maybe
snakes.
maybe that's the secret. Maybe they know the secret about
Okay.
pigeon and horse
Did
and
you
all
did
that
you
sort
get
of stuff.
eat horse?
It's all in the
What was
sauce.
some of the did they have the full range of meats? Like I need to know.
No, they didn't. They had a very small, very
That's
limited
disappointing.
range, right? The best thing that they had, the best thing they had was a guy would make an omelette for you, right? But that was very, very bland. So we would go over to the cheese and the cold meat place and get cheese and cold meat and give it to him to put in the omelette, which made it somewhat better. I think we got instant coffee. There was a fruit selection, so you could have grapefruit or honeydew melon. Or you could have, they had these sliced apples in this syrup that didn't taste anything like apples neither. So that was breakfast.
The pear tasted even less like pear.
Yeah,
than the
no, I don't
apples
think it
tasted
was a
like
pear.
apples.
And it was in syrup. Like, to get a piece of fruit, like I was craving fruit, like a banana or a real apple. That didn't happen.
And then what's the other meal then? The other meal, the lunch dinner meal.
But yeah, basically,
Okay, lunch.
well, yeah. So it's basically when we go away, especially to these sorts of competitions, you've got 550 athletes to feed. It's very much always just a buffet, and it's very similar.
It's all a buffet.
So there is usually one or two carb/rice options. There is usually a chicken, a beef, and a fish. Hopefully there is some sort of fibrous vegetable. But like, so say for instance, when we go to Hungary, it's usually just pickled vegetables. There was very little vegetable while we were here, unless you were going to the salad section. And so, yeah, most nights it was rice and one of the forms of protein. And then if you had a little bit of room in your weight class, there would be some lovely pastries. But what impressed me the most is the absolute skill of the chef to be able to serve up tough as leather stewing beef every single time. Because as you know, like with stewing beef, you just put it on the slow cooker and forget about it. And hopefully you'll remember about 10 to 12 hours later, and it's perfect. But every single time, consistently, as if they were trying to be awarded some form of Michelin star, managed to make this beef the toughest form of beef I have ever had in my life.
But not only that, yeah, how dry was the chicken? Like, you could not get the chicken any drier. Like, it was, and the rice, it's like so overcooked that it's a glug that sticks together.
I want to tell you about the IPF experience.
So did you?
Where food is concerned is normally pretty good, because most of the exec on the IPF are real foodies. So we may go to really weird towns with overpriced shitty hotels, but the food is always phenomenal. At breakfast, I was getting poached eggs, smoked salmon, caviar, espresso coffee, the whole works. But you know, the rest of the time, meh. That's the advantage of the IPF, man.
Yeah, well, we got
So basically what you're saying is I need to learn how to squat and deadlift.
IPF.
Yeah.
Because like we're doing bench.
Yeah.
I only go to the bench only comps. I'm not squatting and deadlifting. So yeah. I figure you use your legs just as much as
well
Dike
at our
uses
hotel.
his, I figure. So, which not very much.
At our hotel, I think the food could not have possibly gotten any worse. Like when we're in Dubai, like you get sick of the same food over and over. But at Dubai, we actually had a choice, right? And the food in Dubai was actually, it was quite edible. It wasn't bad, right? It wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. You could eat anything that they had. In Cairo, after the second day, I couldn't eat it anymore. I was over it.
Oh, I think that's a bit unfair. I think
Oh,
the food was definitely edible, but
Hey,
if you wanted to pass it within four to
Ben, just
five
remember
days of
where
eating
Parry's
it,
from.
there was absolutely no
Remember
chance of
where
that
Parry
happening.
lives in Sydney. Like,
But you could
come
definitely
on.
get the food in. Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Well, that's why I said when he comes over, we've got to take
He'll
him
fit right
across
in.
the freeway to Leaderville. I think he'll enjoy that.
Did you did you guys find that you went out afterwards, like after the comps were over, you ate outside of the, I guess, accommodation, or
No, so where we were situated. So my understanding is Egypt is currently trying to bid for an Olympic and Paralympic Games. So I believe it's the 2036, so the one after Brisbane. And so what they are doing is they are building an entire sporting precinct and community hub 45 minutes outside of Cairo. So
it's 61
at the moment,
kilometers.
there's not really much out there, and so yeah, it's not as simple as just being able to duck out to the local restaurant or to the local cafe as we usually would if we got sick of the food. Like it's a fairly big time investment getting there, and especially we had like eight wheelchairs, and so it just kind of gets thrown in the too hard basket. Um, and so yeah, most of us were still eating in the restaurant.
Right, and where we were, and Egypt in itself, or Cairo, it's very strange. It was something that I'd never experienced. I think Nathan is reconnecting, or am I?
I can hear you, buddy. I think it's just Nathan that is reconnecting.
Yeah, okay. So Cairo is it's very unique in itself. Um, it's like, the Olympic Village where we were staying at, right? It's like they're trying to move a hell of a lot of people um into a new suburb. So you could see a lot of infrastructure. You could see big sporting stadiums, and there was housing complexes, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of housing complexes and infrastructure built and being built that were all empty. There was nobody in them. But the funny thing
Yeah,
about Cairo is also everything is made up in districts, so it's all numbered: District One, District Two, right? And every district has a great big wall around it, right? And then you've got the gates where you enter into the district, where they've got security and army and police all there at the same time. So it's not like you could go from one place to another easily. You had to go through different districts, through different checkpoints, right, with heavily armed people with automatic weapons. And when I started asking them, like, why is this happening? They say, well, it's for your safety. And I told them, hold on, going through checkpoints with armed police, army, and security people doesn't make me feel so safe. They thought, I was being weird and sarcastic. When I was telling them, in Australia, we don't have fences around our neighbourhoods. And they were saying, well, how's it safe? It's safe because we don't kill each other.
well, yes, I think maybe it was possibly due to our close proximity to the Gaza Strip, but like I figure anyway, like it's no one's gonna blow up a stadium full of cripples. Like that's not good for anybody's cause. Like that is going to kill your cause's marketing
Be
instantly.
careful. You might attract false actors with that one, Ben.
Yeah.
it's like chopping up the already meat. It's like chopping up the
Oh,
meat
dear
that's already
Ben.
chopped up.
Yeah, I'm not touching that one.
Oh my
All right,
goodness.
That's a good
let's get this
analogy,
back
Paul.
on track a bit. So, for Ben and Parry, this one's for you guys. Give us your top 5 highlights for the trip. I can maybe you can go back and
After
forth.
you, Ben.
I'll let you go. Oh, okay. All right, let's go back and forth. I'll start. Well, so for me, it was finally getting to be a part of like a really huge team. I spent a bunch of years going away where it was either by myself or when I was going away to compete, I was also wearing the head coach hat, the team manager hat. I was having to handle athletes on the field of play, and so yeah, getting to just be a part of such a really big team was really cool for me.
It's weird, isn't it? After doing it by yourself for so long, though, then having a dozen people there with you feels almost odd at some points, I bet.
Oh yeah, well, and especially we had staff there as well, and so not only just having people say, "Hey, do you need help with that?" but just like taking over was very alien to me. As you know, Nathan, I am not the best at asking for assistance when it is needed.
All right, Pat.
And so yeah, yeah.
No, I didn't.
And so yeah, that was.
I didn't notice that you were completely stubborn and refused any help given to you. That wasn't noticeable at all.
Paulie, was he like that when he travelled with you as well?
I prefer the term.
Yeah, I often.
I prefer the term strong-willed. It makes me sound like less of an asshole if I say strong-willed.
But let's not play it down, Ben.
I can't knock stubborn because I'm just as bad. So it's you can't knock someone for something else, something that you do as well. I think it's
Paris gone. It's
I can.
easy. It's really easy to be hypocritical. It's one of the easiest things in the world. Watch me do it right now. It sounds like this.
It's very easy. It's very easy to take to concentrate on somebody else's stupidity just to take away from yours.
Oh dear.
Yeah. It's a funny thing though. Like sorry to digress, but you know we're talking about independence and doing things your own way. I had a thing happen this week where I was taking my stepdaughter to an event, and the event was upstairs, and the event was packed, and you needed guardian supervision to drop off the kids, and so I was in the car, had to walk up the stairs, fill out the roll call, walk down the stairs, and I just made a comment just to make small talk with the people that were running the event. Oh, this place is packed. No, not requesting any assistance. Just it was rush hour. There was kids everywhere and whatnot, and their reaction was to help and kick every single person that was on the staircase off the staircase, right? And it created the biggest scene because I'm like, I was doing this nice and slowly. Now I've got to rush off because everyone's evacuated the staircase like I'm just about to. And as long as I'm on the staircase, nobody else is allowed down the stairs. So and it just shows like I didn't know what to do, and I could see the gesture was really nice, right? But there's so many things like with these things, stubbornness and wanting to do stuff. Like you do your thing, and everyone's really kind in the main, and they try and help. So it doesn't matter. Like sometimes it doesn't help being stubborn because it's going to happen anyway.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
highlights.
We'll go back to the highlights, look, there were many. There really was, but I would say that my number one highlight was how Ben and I sort of supported and had each other's back. Right, that's the thing I took away from the comp that really stood out to me. Like, we're training, we helped each other, we videoed each other, we stayed with each other. Our training programs were a bit longer. Everyone would leave, but Ben and I would stay there. And if it was me finishing up or Ben finishing up, we'd leave together, we'd go together. And that was a huge
How was that
highlight.
for you, Ben?
Well, yeah, so that was going to be my next one. Like, so having the team within the team. So there was obviously the Australian team, but then there was the Baxter strength team internally into that. And so yeah, that was really cool. That yeah, not only were we training together, like we would make sure that we would grab a bench together because we had 15.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 13 athletes, 14 athletes?
14, yeah.
And when we had training sessions allotted to us, they were 1 hour training sessions, and we were given 5 benches for the whole team. And so, yeah, because Parry and I are on very similar programs, like it was easy for us to grab a bench together. We've got very similar rack heights as well. And so we'd either stick with a rack height that was comfortable for both of us, or it was just a really quick change in between. We were loading and unloading the bar for each other, as Parry said, filming, watching, giving feedback. And then when on the occasions where we were just running our short workout, once we were done, like we'd pack up our stuff and then we'd go and we'd be doing that stuff for the rest of the team. And so, yeah, it was really cool to have that team within a team as well, and just to have not only the support from each other, but we got to share the field of play with
Hey,
each
how was
other,
that for
and
you,
so
Parry?
that was a really cool experience as well.
That was an excellent. Oh, that was another highlight. And Ben and Paul, they're two of our greatest Paralympic powerlifters. Ben's achieved so much. And to share the stage with Ben was really an honor. It was a huge honor for me. I was proud that I could do it. I was happy that I could do it. Proud that Ben, exceeded what he wanted to do, or close to it. And it was great. It was, we shared the warm up facility. It's something that I haven't done before with Ben because normally he's in the A and B and I was in the C. But um, it was a highlight. It was huge for me. I was honoured to share
And Ben,
that stage with him.
how do you react to hearing those kind of things? Because I'm sure you can think of someone that the first time you lifted with them, you had that same feeling, and now you're that in someone else's story.
Yeah, I don't know how to take that still. Like as you know, I'm very not good at accepting compliments. And so yeah, as you said, like there are still people that are lifting that yeah, were the people that I looked up to when I first started lifting. But even this time, there were a bunch of people from other teams that were like asking teammates about me, like how I'm doing, like how I've been training, and it's like, well, shit, like this whole time I've been doing this, I just assumed I was off to the side doing it by myself, but no, there's actually been people watching and people keeping track of my progress, and so yeah, it's still a
I want to get
very
your insight
alien feeling to me.
Paul, because like you've travelled a lot with Australian teams and been part of the development, and now you're watching from a distance, and of course we, it's not very subtle attempt to get you back into powerlifting by get you on all these podcasts with us all the time as well. So how does it look to you sitting back and watching basically people enjoy the fruits of your labor, I guess?
Oh, it's great. It's great. I just think about it and go, I watched some of the posts of some of the lifters. I can only talk about the Australian team because I haven't really followed it much more. But just the level of excitement of like their journey started or the points of where their journey's at. Even even someone like Parry, who's been there a while but not as long as myself, like just seeing them have slightly different experiences and just seeing, like, hearing people talk about the memories, like the crazy driving and the not just the lifting. I think that means something to me because it's about the people you meet along the way. But I just love it because I think that something I said in my podcast to you we did individually was there wasn't as much information sharing when powerlifting all started, whether it was on the platform, whether it was about life outside of lifting and how to do it, all the different elements. Now you got everyone sharing ideas, wanting to see more people exceed. So it does make me happy because I think that, there's probably a lot of people that have started it that didn't even know what it was or how it existed or how their disability meant they were going to try it. And now you look at it and it's got a profile. So, yeah, it does make me rather, like, it sort of brings back all those memories of how I felt at different points. And seeing other people get that joy, I think it does give me a thrill, and I do look forward to meeting some of the people I've heard of lifting that I haven't met, and just to see, where they're at and what they're getting out of it and everything else. But I think it's in a lot better space, just in terms of and it shows you by the results, because once you share information, all the lift standards across all the feds and para or whatever, they're all incredible. Like if someone did 20 years ago, if someone did a 180 bench press or a 170 bench press, yeah, it's a great number, but it wasn't as heard of. Now your baseline is just so much bigger,
Yeah.
So, and that's a reflection of people getting better, people sharing information, people sort of taking it seriously, and I guess lifting the standards. I think it's very easy to think of it when you're doing it for your country that this is the only place in the world where people powerlift, And then when you go to these comps and you go, oh, this country does it. One, I've never heard of this country before. I remember that as a youngster, like going to these comps and going, I've never met anyone from
Which
that country
countries
before.
was that for you, Paul?
Oh, this is cool. And then you just
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Kazakhstan, that was one. What year did do you reckon Borat came out?
Late 2000s, wasn't it? So, yeah.
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 But yeah, it would have been like an 08, 09 sort of.
So I remember seeing Borat and then going to a comp when I was about 23 where I won a junior medal, because 22, 23 was like the top end of juniors at that time. And I reckon it would have been about 210. So I reckon I saw Borat like 6 months before it. Then I went to the comp and I competed against a guy from Kazakhstan. So, and I was just like, this is so cool. Like I've never heard of this country. I've never, and then I'm standing on a platform
And they really exist.
meeting this guy, and you hang out at the pool and the recovery session, and every country does it so differently. And I used to marvel, like, some countries didn't have the same facilities or even straps or wraps or just basic stuff that we had, or some people had more stuff than we had. So you just look at certain people and you just go, you're doing so well with, the support you've got or the resources you've got. So there was such a big discrepancy, or more of a discrepancy of
this might
what
make you
was
think a
there
little
back
bit.
then, if that makes any sense.
Paul, back when you were going to ParaBench comps and I was going to international bench comps, and we were like the one or two Aussies there. Like I think for you it would always be like 2 or 3 guys, and with me I was normally by myself. Other countries used to think that about us and go, oh, good on them. Like they're really under-resourced. They've got no one here helping them. They've got no coaches. They've got no assistants. So the way you're talking about those smaller countries is how other countries used to talk about us as well.
Yes, absolutely.
I think there's still countries that do. So, like as Paulie was alluding to, like you get involved in Australia and you think, oh yeah, like we're pretty good at this, and then you go to your
Yeah.
first World Championships, and then you see those Eastern Bloc countries, and then you're just like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you guys have a whole different blueprint
Yeah.
that nobody else around the world knows about. Like you are playing chess, we are playing snakes and ladders. Like it is just insane. But then again, like on the other end of the spectrum, so we get to have a lot to do with the Pacific Island nations, with especially with the Commonwealth Games, and so yeah, seeing and talking to those guys and getting to know them, and yeah, finding out that their place that they train is just it's basically it's like a pergola. It's not. It doesn't even have walls. It's just got columns and a roof, and there's a bench press in there with steel plates that aren't from the same set. They're a mix and match from different sets. And then yeah, you see these guys get to a standard where they get to qualify for Commonwealth Games, and it's just like, I that's insane to me. That's
Yeah.
that is inspiring.
Yeah.
For me, it was Mongolia, meeting Mongolian athletes at Bench Worlds and realizing Mongolian bench presses are really, really good. I just like, you guys bench press in Mongolia? Like, and then in my head, I
Yeah.
just think of bad South Park jokes after that.
Yeah. Well, see, again, going back to Kazakhstan. So the first time I got to go to Kazakhstan, I think was 2017, and again, the only thing I knew about Kazakhstan was everything I'd seen on Borat, and so what really blew my mind was the really high percentage of people of like Asian descent from Kazakhstan. And I was like, what? This doesn't make sense. And then I actually looked at a map and I remembered Genghis Khan. And I was like, oh,
You
yeah,
put
no,
two and two
no,
together
that makes a lot of sense now.
now.
Yeah. The man certainly did get around and obviously planted a fairly large
Yeah,
flag
many
in
flags, many
Kazakhstan.
countries. From was it? It's some shocking amount of the world's population has his DNA.
Yeah, has DNA like
Oh my
linking
goodness!
directly back
Right,
to
I'm
Genghis
just sort of
Khan.
looking at the time
Yeah.
here. Let's go the part two of what we're going to talk about, because we could talk about food and weird Kazakh stories all day, and we probably will. But we want to do a bit of a debrief, and we'll
We
do
can.
it on air, so, because people, and I generally don't let people in on the way I debrief with people normally, and it's led to some really funny conversations over the last few years. So I thought I'll just show everyone else how I run a debrief and how we write a program based off that. So let's do it, shall we? Let's give away my intellectual property to the 17 people
Let's go.
listening. So this one for you, Ricky Flanders, because we always have to mention her at some point. So number one, comp day. We'll start with comp day, on the day, on the platform. Let's go through what went well.
Ben, you're up.
Parry? Oh, me? Okay. So I met my goal. My goal was 9 white lights. I didn't want to be chasing specific numbers or specific percentages of my 1RM. I just wanted to enjoy the process, feel the feeling of having a barbell in my hands on the field of play again. And so yeah, for me, my comp day
Right.
went
So how did you
exactly
change?
as
How did you
I
change your mindset
could have
then
hoped.
around? Because that, like, this is new
At
now.
least,
We got to we've got to be really honest. This is a new mindset that you're playing with. So how were you able to change it?
Yeah.
You just
Took a huge back.
Well, so basically, so I knew that from my result 2 months earlier, I'd put 25 kilos on the barbell in that time, and so realistically, for me to be upset about that would mean I'm a pretty big wanker. And so I just figured, like, that's the positive we take away. Like, that's good. Like, I can't even try and tell myself that that's bad. And so, like, yeah, we know where we're going to end up is 25 kilos on the bar extra from what I was able to do 2 months earlier. And so, yeah, it was just about focusing on reacquainting myself with international competition, and just enjoying that process, getting that process right, and just having fun on the bench press again. Not trying to concern myself with a specific position in the world that I think that I'm supposed to hold, or a specific ranking. It was just about enjoying the process, and yeah, just leaving it there. Trying not to give my brain too many points of data to try and pull from, because as we know, that's when I start getting overcritical. And so it was just an acceptance that, you know what, 25 kilos on the barbell in 2 months is pretty fucking good. There's probably not going to be anyone else on the Australian team that has been able to achieve that. And so
you keep saying 25.
That's good. Let's just have fun now.
30 by the end of
Now
the week,
I'm gonna pull. I'm gonna pull it up for a second. Yeah, what was that?
Well, yeah. So by the end of the week, so thankfully, because of the team events, I was able to see how everybody had finished up in their individual events, and I was able to go full petty. And once I knew that Justin had gone a 161 and Dylan had gone a 164, to be the biggest overall bencher from Team Australia for the event, all I needed to do was throw 165 on the bar in the team event, and I could I could go full petty mode and just take that back and get to be big dog for a little while longer.
Nice.
And so you bet your ass I absolutely took that opportunity.
The question was what went well. Would you be able to summarize that as your focus?
I was able to focus better on the specific goals that I had decided to set for myself, as opposed to be worried about all of this background noise that is usually going on in my head.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Making sure I was setting really clear goals and working on sticking to those goals, because when I don't have those very clear-cut goals, that's when the mean girl inside my head starts getting in my ear and telling me all these other things. And so having those very clear set goals and working on them to achieve them specifically, that was very helpful in being able to stay focused to where I needed to be.
Yeah, you
well
go,
done,
Paul.
Ben, because I know that's sorry. That's harder to do. Like when you've lifted more or done more or had a PB of more, it's really hard to do and still enjoy it sometimes.
Yeah, I have so much trouble trying to disconnect myself from who I used to be at a particular time and where I'm at now. And so that's something that Nathan's been working on with me really closely over the last 12 to 18 months, which has been very, very helpful because trying to chase who you used to be, especially in a year where you've had 2 tonic-clonic seizures. It's not a realistic goal, and trying to hold yourself to that high standard it's fucking insane. And so being able to pull myself back a little bit and focus on the things that actually matter, and especially Nathan's constant reminder is of that we have a 4-year goal. We have a Paralympic cycle goal, and then everything outside of that is just leading up to that big goal and in support of that big goal. And so not focusing on individual performances or events, and being able to just stay focused on that one big goal
let's talk about that.
was very helpful because
about that,
as we all know,
let's sort of dig in there a little bit about the what of or the how we're changing things, or how you've changed things, because I would argue that you look like you're having more fun now lifting a lot less than what you did lifting a lot more.
I'd second that.
Yeah. Well, so definitely this time as well, outside of my own lifting, my main focus for the competition was to get to know everybody on the team better. And so that was more of a focus. And so getting to learn individual people's stories was really, really cool. Getting to a point where, especially considering this is the second time I've met them in person, having them be comfortable enough with me to share their story was really cool. And just finding out that we have so many really interesting and intelligent and like just incredible humans on the team was really cool. And so that helped me again stay away from the bullshit of like you should be in the top 10 in the world in your weight class because that is the pinnacle you've reached. Last year at the Paralympics, you finished 7th, and so if you are outside of the top 10, that is unacceptable. Being able to divorce myself from that sort of thinking, allowed me to not only have more fun, but just not take myself so seriously, and even relax a little bit better.
Probably a few things in there. There was about 5 times I wanted to stop you and ask you a question about it. How much of an identity did you think you formed around numbers?
Oh, it was the largest part of my identity was that I was Ben Wright from Australia, and not only was I the strongest powerlifter, but I think one of the best bench press technicians that Australia has. I personally think that other federations, especially able-bodied federations, powerlifters are usually good at the deadlift or the squat, and the bench is just something that they have to do to get a total. Whereas if you are good at the bench or like the bench, you usually move to a bench-only platform. And so I tied so much of who I was and my self-worth to my performance on the bench press. And not doing that as much. Like don't get me wrong, I have still so much to learn and so much further on this journey to go. But being able to temporarily remove myself from that identity is allowing me to have fun benching and rekindle that spark that initially made me fall in love with the bench press. Because as I've had discussions with you all about this, when it comes down to it, the bench press is an absolutely useless movement. The only people that care about
other
how
bench
much you
pressers.
bench are
Not
the men
even the whole
that
gym
go to the
cares how
gym.
much you bench.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and so like the only time I can think of where being good at the bench press may come in handy is if like something heavy falls on top of someone and you need to slide underneath it and lift it off of them so they can get free. But even in that situation, a deadlift is a much better movement for that scenario. And so yeah, although it is useless,
Yeah.
I love the shit out of it. And so, yeah, being able to reconnect with that feeling and that spark that initially got me into the bench press has been really good for my heart
using
this
some of
year.
the
It's been really
language
good.
of flow that we like to use. Do you think that bench pressing has become autotelic again? That just bench pressing feels fucking good?
Yeah. So I got a really good
Mm-hmm.
sense of feeling the day after I competed. So previously, before taking you on as a coach, Nathan, I was very much so. I would have huge breaks in between my sets. I would have like 10, sometimes 12, 15-minute breaks in between. And my justification of that was because when we go away to a big competition like Worlds like this, you have 20-minute break in between each of your lifts. And so learning how to stay on and keep warm during that 20-minute downtime, I think is a skill that needs to be learnt. I don't think as much as much what importance needs to be put into it as what I used to. But then also after competing, I would
Oh, let's see. Let's see if Ben comes back. That was a shame.
Have we
He was
lost
really getting
him?
into that story. Let's switch to you then, Barry. Thinking about your comp day experience.
Okay.
What
I
went well
thought.
for you? What springs to mind?
Yep. Okay, we've got to lead into all of it because I think Ben's back in.
I got kicked out hard.
He's mad.
Yeah, like um. So we landed in Cairo on the 6th. And my plane trip, was difficult. Like they ran out of water, right? The food was all spice and stuff that I just don't eat. So there was minimal to eat. They ran out of water, so there was minimal to drink. So I dehydrated on the plane.
But
I didn't eat properly, and I couldn't go to sleep. So this was a massive flight where I'm just awake for the whole duration of it.
Oh no! Now we've lost Parry.
We lost Nathan.
we have. But the thing you're forgetting though, Parry, although there was a lack of water, the sheer amount of salt that they put into the food at
Yeah.
least helps you hold on to the small amount of water that you are consuming.
Yes. Do we have to all dial out and dial back in?
I'm not sure. I'm expecting to get a notification in the WhatsApp group from
Yeah.
Nathan if we need to. But actually, it says so. The upload service says that it is uploading, and so yeah, I think this has taken this as a brand new session,
Okay.
and so we may very well get a notification. Actually, let me just check the WhatsApp and see.
I haven't seen anything yet on the WhatsApp.
My cat's getting very vocal. Oh, I think Nathan's back. I just can't see him, but I can see a box.
All right.
There we go. Looks like we're all back in business.
Hey, there we are. It's kind of like Riverside was like, guys, you booked the meeting room for a particular time. You have outstayed your welcome. Please exit the meeting room immediately.
Piss off and piss off now.
Can you hear me?
I'm not sure he
there we
can
go.
hear us or see
All
us though,
right.
because I can't.
My
Oh, there we
goodness,
go.
That was
Yeah,
Yeah, we
weird.
can now.
I don't know what happened or where anybody went, but I went on a trip, came back. Now here we go.
Well, yeah. So I
Glad you're
assume the
back.
same thing that happened to
There you
me
go.
happened to you, because
Right.
like you just got taken out of the room.
We were Parry was telling the most miserable
So,
tale
my
of woe
flight-
about
my-
flying, and the question was, on
Yeah.
the comp day, Parry, what went well? Because I'm gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna sort of
That is
What
so
went
good.
well?
there's 100 million things that will always go wrong on the way to an event, on the way
Yep.
to getting places. I traveled from Karratha for every event
Yep.
for years and years and years. There is so much stuff that's going to go badly. So then being able to tap back in quickly to what's going well and what you did well, that's the bit as a coach that I really care about. All the other bits, I'm like, whatever. On
Okay.
comp day.
What went well?
Mm-hmm.
On the warm-up was good. Comp day warm-up was good. And I felt reasonably, strong. I felt our opening lift at 108 should be a breeze, so I was very confident going out and doing it. Right. And my second attempt at what did I do? I think it was 113. I was very, very
Came up,
confident that this is an easy lift.
Yep.
Right. And I went out and it came up. I thought it came up fine. Like, Raquel and other technical officials had told me that they couldn't see anything wrong with it.
And what you got called body position, wasn't it?
Yeah, body position. They reckon my left knee was slightly more bent than what it was the previous lift.
Okay, that's not the impression I got from all of the video reviewing that I have done.
Powerlifting for you.
But
No.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was a bit deflated with it, but we still came out. I got positive. I was able to change my mindset very quickly. By the time I walked back into the warm-up area, I was over it, and it was time to get out there and do it again. So I felt good. I felt strong, and I thought I selected something that I believed I could lift. Wasn't what I was aiming for originally, but on the day they were the decisions I made, and I thought they were good decisions. So I was actually happy with it.
For the viewer, all three of your lifts went down to your chest, and you locked all three out, didn't you? The 2 and 3 were both for that weird body position.
Yes. Well, the third one, it was an uneven lockout.
Yeah, so that was press sequence for the third one.
Yeah, I saw.
Oh, did they show both coloured lights?
Yeah, it was an uneven lockout or press sequence and body position.
Because purple's body position there. I think yellow was press sequence.
The body position one was.
I can't
couldn't work out what was going on with that, but
well, so I think body position is weird, and I think they probably need to split it up a bit more, because even going before the start command will get you a body position call, whereas I'm not sure what preempting a start command has to do about your body position, but that's fine.
But the things The things I
I
was
hope
most
so.
happy about, I guess, was my focus, like how I could make all the noise go away, and I could, you know, especially after they fail the lift, how I could just close my eyes and take a few breaths and make all the noise go away and just refocus on the bar and what I was trying to do.
Yeah, no, and I'd like to just echo what you said about being able to refocus again. That's what really impressed me about you, because I've seen where we've gone away previously, and getting a miss, especially if it's a first lift, that can take you away, and then you start focusing and worrying about things that really don't matter in that point. But like, yeah, as soon as you came out the back, like you were just focused straight away about
Yeah,
doing that lift and getting the next one up. Like that was, yeah, that was really impressive to me.
yeah. By the time I walked off the stage, I was over it. Like
Yeah.
I'd already dealt with it in my head, right? And then it was just, and as I told you, like what I do in my thought process and how I clear my mind, I'd done that, came back, right, revisualizing what I had to do, and then we went out and tried again.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really
Let's
good to
go.
see.
Question for you, Parry. What did you see Ben doing that you thought like that's something Ben's nailing, and that's something that other people should be doing as well, even?
Okay, so now I have to go back into our when we were training together. So Ben and I did workout B the first day, then we done, was it 2 workout Bs, and we done a workout A, right?
Yeah.
Now,
So we were doing what I like to call ABBA, ABBA.
yeah, and trust me, we were never going to try and sing. But, you know, we went through our whole, workout A, and after the on the minute, every minute's going back up to, was it your 90%, Ben?
Yeah.
Right. The bar for Ben moved so nice, and I videotaped it, and we had a look at it, right? And Ben was very, very happy with how it moved, and I thought I'd never actually seen Ben move that well, right? So Ben suggested maybe he should go up to 95, right? And I suggested, how about we just stop on this huge positive note and take this confidence away with us to comp. And both Ben and I actually behaved like grown adults, and we agreed, yes, this was a damn good session. Yes, we should take the positives out of this, and yes, let's go.
Yeah, that
And
and that was really cool feedback for me as well, because
right,
that like if I had gone above 90%, and I had missed it, like Parry's right, it would have just smashed my confidence. And so making that decision to just be like, you know what, we've we've done some pretty big travel, we've been a little bit dehydrated, this has been a really, really good session so far. Like, let's just take the win. Like that was
and it was a big
such good
win,
advice from Parry.
and it was a big win, and we left there, and Ben went and competed with, you know, a lot of confidence, you know, in his mind, very focused, determined, right? But knew he had, and he actually knew he had a lot more. Right, so I feel like it wasn't daunting for Ben at all. He knew he was going to make his lifts. He knew he was going to do it easily, right? And then he went and done them.
How much do you think? Uh, how to put it? Yeah, Ben, how do you think you've changed your view about confidence with these lifts? Because, like from the outside, I think most people would be quite surprised to hear that confidence isn't always your strong suit, especially when you know going out on the platform. So, how have you shifted it, or how has that confidence developed?
Um, oh, I was just, I'm like, I don't think I've shifted. I think you've shifted it, Nathan. I absolutely believe it is the work that you've done with me, not only on the bench press, but um, like outside of the bench press, and working on my focus and my grounding and my gratitude, and actually looking for more positive things that's been the thing that's done it. I'm
Well,
not
something.
sure
I'm not
I've
doing the work.
had
You're doing
much
the work.
influence in
You
that.
just say stuff, and then
But yeah,
every
so
now and then you do it. That seems there seems to be how you know we'll have 4 espressos, and I might say a few things, and then you'll go off and do 3 of them, and go, oh, it really works, and then we call that coaching. So yeah, like.
yeah.
So like I'm trying to push the thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. I'm trying to put the back on you. You've done the work, and what I'm trying to sort of lead you towards saying is you're doing the work on things that don't seem to be directly related to bench pressing. Like you talked about focus and gratitude and setting clear
Oh
goals
yeah,
for
yeah,
all sorts of
100%.
stuff.
It is.
But it seems to show up really powerfully when we start training.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. And so, like, for the longest time, like I've been told by people that I need to prioritize myself better. Um, but the problem previously is that my name didn't even appear on that list. And so yeah, it's you that has helped me not only write my name down on that list of priorities, but then the things that yeah have absolutely nothing to do with the bench press or getting stronger physically, and really focusing on and working on that stuff has bled into every single aspect of my life. So not only am I now enjoying training more and getting stronger, um, but my work life is better. My relationships with my friends and my family is better. My communication is better. My gratitude towards people and actually externalizing that gratitude instead of just like in my head thinking, oh, like they know I appreciate them. Um, like yeah, that sort of stuff is what I am finding the real life changing movement in around my lifting. Yeah, it's just really beneficial that it's also
Yes,
helped me
and
get
right
stronger
there is
and
what I'm
better
going
at the
to
bench
quickly
press.
put on the internet for advertising. Thank you. Um, let's yeah, that
I'm
makes me
glad to hear
really
that, Ben.
happy
I
to
really
listen
am.
to you speaking that way. Because, Paulie,
Yes.
Yeah, like it literally has been that and the being medicated for my ADHD, like those have been the biggest life changing
I just
events for me this year.
And there's a clip
there we
for
go. We'll
ADHD
send that off
drugs.
to Pfizer. There you go. Because they need help with advertising. Listen, we're over the 90-minute mark, and I'm getting alerts on my end here that Ben's under 20% of battery charge left. So we'll wind it up, but we'll go around the horn. Last words, Paulie. What are you going to be working on between now and December? Just find the joy in it again, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if there's any bit of advice I can give, Paulie, is that like I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, and so what you need to do is you need to find our people, find where
Oh,
like
yes.
my understanding is that you've moved to a different area recently, and so try and seek out our people, try and seek out a community, that because it has been that community and that support that has helped me the most. And so if you can find that, like even if it's just something as simple as finding a training partner, training is a shitload more fun and enjoyable if you've got someone else doing it with you. And plus, if you're not having to load and unload your own barbell all the time, it goes a shitload quicker as well. Like
That's
everything
Parry's,
everything
that's where
just
Parry's got his
is
wife
more
from.
fun.
My pleasure.
Oh, I thought he had Raquel to actually help him lift the barbell up for him. That's
Yeah,
So, all right,
she
Parry,
does all the work.
if let's go with you now, Parry. If we think about the run into December, if you could just go one thing that's been going well that you get to either magnify or deepen or just have way more of over the next little prep, what would that one thing be?
Confidence. It has been going well since I've joined with, and trained under you. I'm getting confident. I'm getting my confidence back. I'm no longer worried about my shoulder. It's just I feel I can do it, and if we can keep that happening moving forward, it's excellent. You enjoy training when you know you can do it. You don't enjoy it when you think I'm going to hurt myself.
Yeah, so even the fact that we backed up the next day after we competed, as I was saying earlier before I got kicked out, yeah, I used to be a person that would take a whole week off after competing, but yeah, Parry and I jumped straight back on the bench the next day.
Yep.
We acknowledged that we were feeling a little bit tired and a little bit achy, but as soon as we started warming up, like everything just felt better. Everything started moving better. And yeah, Parry wasn't worried about his shoulder or injuring his shoulder, and like I wasn't worried about like overdoing it. Like we just got on the bench and we just chatted shit and we had fun and we got through the program and we both felt incredible afterwards. Like it was just really cool.
And I think I named that training session. This is the first session for our road to December.
Yeah. And it was a great starting
really
point.
Cool.
Such a good starting
same
point.
thing for you. What's your one thing? What's the one thing that you're going to? Because we've got to keep it with one thing for you. Like if I give you 3, you'll turn it into 27 pretty quickly. So you get one thing. What's the one thing we're going to be focusing on between now and December?
Yeah. Progression. So doesn't matter what that means. Just moving forward from where we finished in Egypt. That's the focus. It's just progression. Not putting any sort of pressure on how much progression or a specific number. Just if we keep moving forward, that's a win.
I'm going to interrogate.
I was hoping you were going to say a different word.
I'm not sure. I don't know. This is my cynicism towards your answer, Ben, and I know as a coach you're not meant to do this at all. So I'm just pointing out that I'm doing the wrong thing right now. How will you? No, we won't go that direction. How do you make progress? How have you made progress so far? And once again, you get to pick one thing.
Of how I've made progress. Oh.
This answer stands out to me like there's no tomorrow.
Well, so there's the bleedingly obvious answer, which is just bar weight. But there are so many other ways in which I've progressed in the last 2 months that
but you just spoke for 5 minutes and told us all about how you progressed. What went well? What did you You said what went well. Paul listened to it. Paul wants to do the same thing.
Well, yeah,
I'm
just to have fun.
It shouldn't have been that hard, right?
Um,
Thanks, Parry.
but
Thanks for that. That's kind of where we're going to it, because we can. It sounds
yeah,
like
no, but
often sounds like a very simple answer. Say we're going to make it fun, but then we go, well, how do I make it fun? That then becomes a daily set by set task, because keeping things fun requires deepening things and refining and all those kind of stuff. So I think if you kept it fun, would it almost be inevitable that you'd make progress?
Yeah. I think so. Because I think that would allow me to string more successful training sessions together. And so, yes, I agree that would. But let's not fuck around. You know me, and so you know that this next competition is the last qualifying chance for the Commonwealth Games, and I want to be the only Australian para-powerlifter that can say that they've been to 4 Commonwealth Games, and so that is very high up on my agenda, and so
that would be a huge amount of fun, wouldn't it? Yeah, it wouldn't change your identity at all.
Yeah, it would be.
But let's also look at the fact that
it would be fun.
No, but let's also look at the fact that you've already qualified. You would already qualify with your 160 that you did at World, so it's a given that you're going to go.
I'll let you know tomorrow. I'm gonna download all the results and do the math.
We'll wait on our phones.
Okay, but from what I can see, right, it puts you in about 6th spot. Yeah, I'm going to charge my phone now.
Yeah, I'll send you. I'll send you through my Excel spreadsheet once I'm complete.
That question to you, Ben, is
what
would stop you from getting to the Com Games?
Well, so there was a few Commonwealth countries that were at the event that I'd not seen before, and I'm not sure how they went because I wasn't focused on that. So, other people lifting more than me. That's the only thing.
No, see, I'm gonna. Yeah.
Can you just tell the dumbass the obvious answer that he's missing? That'd be handy.
Yeah, the more fun you can have with it, the more successful you will be. So just enjoy it, embrace it, have fun with it. And learning new stuff is always fun, and lifting 5 kilos more is always fun. And walking away thinking, fuck, that was a good session today, has to be fun.
Yeah. Well, yeah, especially because before I took Nathan on as a coach, there was a whole bunch of time where I did not enjoy most of those training sessions. But powerlifting and coaching, you just follow the process and the results will take care of themselves. And so I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing and until I was not able to do that anymore. And so so I do. Yeah, you do have a very good point. I do seem to be getting a much better result, not only on the bench, but in all aspects of my life if I focus more on having fun.
Having fun.
Yeah.
I think we got the answer that you were looking for, Nate.
No, I think you're muted.
There you go. All right, I think I'm off mute now. How's that? Good now.
So you're good now.
I think in terms of progress for me and my coaching philosophy is fun and enjoyment is one of the success indicators. Like it's a KPI. If you're hating training, then we're getting training wrong. If you're not enjoying the process, then we're getting the process wrong. Like doing what we do, and that's the whole thing about focusing on flow states, is when we feel like our best performances are when we feel our best. So like if we're not feeling our best regularly through training, then it's not our best
Yeah,
performance,
yeah,
and we're chasing the wrong thing.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's a very good point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, mate. So we got this little gun. Her name's Carly. She's 14, so she's not even old enough to be a junior in the sport yet. She's got CP. You will love her. She just has the best like
Attitude.
personality and just attitude towards like not only life but the bench press. Yeah, I think you will enjoy her a lot, and I think that you have a bunch of information that you can pass on to her.
Now,
Absolutely.
now Simon trains her. Like I discovered this kid at Wollongong, right? And funny enough, they happen to live across the road from Simon's gym. But she's a great kid, a lot of attitude. She's got something.
Yeah, yeah, and at 14, like so even just say 2032 Brisbane. Like there's so much potential. Like I'm very excited to watch her journey. Absolutely.
I think we're getting Nathan back. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he just needs to turn himself off mute when he can hear us because he was muted before when I could see him. But now all I see is an N.
Yes, that's all I see as well.